sorry, little child, but the line starts way back there.
I don't want to cut. I want you to stop and take all of this down.
What seems to be the issue?
You're using my name to sell your trashy products. And you're suing me?
Oh, get over it, Jennifer. The name's She-Hulk. It's mine.
Excuse me.
Could you take a photo of us? Oh my God, yes. No. Back up a little bit. Just give me some space.
Hey, I'm Derek.
And hey, I'm Noah. No, and you're listening to A Bite of,
Where we take our current favorite
No.
pop culture obsession and enjoy it one nibble at a time.
That can't be what the first thing people hear.
Hey, guys.
No.
It's me, Derek. Isn't it funny that, like, if one of us changes it up a little bit, the other one gets completely thrown off?
To be fair, that time I got thrown off because I didn't expect the voice.
Here we go, keeping each other on our toes. It's improv, baby. Yes, and.
If there's one thing that I was like, oh, this is going to be interesting recording, that I was like, why did they do this in the show, is have Titania talk the way she does, because I was like, Derek is going to capitalize on that, because why would he not?
It was such a good choice.
Okay. Well, before you know what's a good choice, make sure you're following us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at A Bite of Pod. You can also support the show, Patreon. We have bonus episodes. We just came out with one with our summer feast, all the shows and movies that we didn't talk about on the podcast. Little tiny nibbles. Did we like it? Should you watch it? What was our favorite part? All that good stuff. So you can support the show that way. Last but not least, if you like the show, leave a review, ratings, because that's how people find us. And that's how the podcast platforms work.
Don't you want to share your love of A Bite of with the rest of the world? Please, give us a rating.
Okay.
Well, look, I couldn't do the other voice. You don't like this voice. I don't know what you want from me. Make
It's
up
very
your
like,
mind.
I'm a papa. Here, give me a review, please.
Papa, can you hear me? First song. All right, let's go.
Popper, not papa.
Popper?
Yeah.
Like a pauper.
Yeah.
Oh, some more.
Yes.
I was begging.
I know.
Yeah. Well, you got it then.
Yeah.
I thought you said Papa. Paparazzi.
What?
Lady Gaga.
Okay.
I had iced coffee tonight.
I can
just
tell.
let Everybody know.
Dear Lord.
I am riding the caffeine rails right now, baby.
I'm so sorry, everybody listening.
Rudeness.
No, I said.
Rude. Don't apologize for me. All right, let's move forward. Forward is the way to go. But actually, first let's take a look back.
Oh my God.
At She-Hulk Attorney at Law episode 4. Is this not real magic? Madison, with 2 N's and a Y, but not where you think, takes the stage during a less than impressive Donnie Blaze magic show.
Boo.
After calling him out on his scentless flowers,
Ooh.
Donnie breaks out sling rings and transports her to a fiery dimension. Later, she appears in Wong's TV room. I didn't know whether to call it a living room or a den. Just his TV room.
It's his place where he has his TV and he
Yeah.
likes to be alone.
Alone. his sanctum. Where she effectively spoils The Sopranos for him. On the other side of the world, Jen makes a dating profile first as herself, one terrible match, and then as She-Hulk, where she gets a few matches, and only one seems promising. After the Donnie fiasco, Wongers wants a cease and desist against him, but it is not granted. Another magical night gone wrong leads Wong and She-Hulk to squashing some flying demons. The morning after a date as She-Hulk, she is left alone in her apartment as Jen. A knock on the door reveals she is being sued by the one and only social media maven, Titania.
Get it. She should. That's how she fights her battles.
Through
I
the
like
law.
it. Yeah. No, Titania.
Oh.
That's how she's going to do it. She's not going to throw fists first. She's going to try to defame her before she does anything else.
Yeah.
I love it.
That's what she likes more, the likes and the notoriety.
Oh, yeah.
Totes my goats. But as always, we have to issue a spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Going forward, episode 5 of She-Hulk.
So let us officially take a bite of She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, mean, green, and poured into these jeans.
Oh, sexy. Love it.
You know, there's one thing to a dating profile when it's just a screen that someone's reading. It's another one when people read those things out loud in a courtroom.
Well, I mean, I think it's one of those things where you don't think anybody but
Suitors?
most likely similar-minded people will probably read. And then when you read it in the broad daylight in front of people that aren't like on it, and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I do love it. I love it. I thought that was so clever, and I was just like, it's dorky. It'd do it for me.
I really think that this episode showed us, it's filling in more fully who Jen is as a person.
Like the jeans?
Like the jeans. And I think you're seeing her dorky side, her silly side, her kind of cheesy side, and I'm appreciating that.
Yeah. Well, Jen is kind of a dork. She really is. And then She-Hulk kind of gives her that oomph. Yeah, the little confidence that Jen kind of always had. But she needed to turn a little green to show it.
Absolutely.
I like it a lot. I do want to say this episode is, I think, the shortest out of all of them so far. Personally, just to kind of get some things out of the way, I do feel like it was probably the most fillery-ish of them so far. We're midway through it, so this tends to kind of happen even in the 6th episode. Miss Marvel kind of had one, Moon Knight kind of had one, so they all do this.
Yeah.
I still liked it. I think they're all usually enjoyable. This one it had a purpose.
Yeah.
I thought, yeah.
I agree. I think it was enjoyable, but I think it was hard to have a filler episode like this after last week's episode, which was so successful and so fun. I mean, like when we left that episode, it was like we were buzzing about it the whole weekend.
Yeah, a lot of people were.
Exactly. It went viral. I mean, Madison went viral last week. So this one, while fun, and I got a couple of chuckles, it wasn't, like you're saying, as strong as what we've been seeing.
Yeah, 9 episodes. There was bound to be a filler. I hope this is the only filler. Again, I still liked it, and we'll talk more about that, but it was clearly, and I don't like using the word filler. I only mean that it was there. I think this is probably going to be one of the less memorable ones, except for a particular scene towards the end.
The last scene.
Yeah. The beginning of this episode, full disclosure, I just recently saw because when we watch this at 5 a.m, usually I'm up enough to see the entire episode. I missed the entire first 5 minutes of it this morning. And when I saw her cousin come in, I was like, who is that?
Yes.
When did this happen in the show?
He was like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Who is this character? I mean,
missed all of it.
But you know what, though? I feel like even, watching it the first or the second time, they're making her family pop up out of nowhere, which is like sort of bizarre.
But it's kind of real life, though. Like, I mean, I feel like if they lived in the same town, that's kind of what would happen. It's happened to me.
Yeah.
But I do feel like they're like using them.
Yeah, it was like the last episode, her dad showed up for one random minute. And now in this episode, her cousin, who is just named Ched, by the way, not Chet.
He got a promotion at Best Buy, but now he's pushing the She-Hulk by Titania perfume. I'm assuming it is, right? Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess maybe that's more lucrative and he didn't need that promotion at Best Buy. I hope his parents are still proud.
I'm sure they are. They're probably the ones that told him to get on this She-Hulk moment here.
Well, to his surprise and to everybody's surprise. So in the beginning of this episode, we see Jen seeing Titania everywhere with She-Hulk. Billboards, ads, podcasts, all this kind of stuff.
One of my favorite lines of the commercial that she first sees is, or maybe it's when she hears it, Titania says, I own who I am, She-Hulk by Titania. That is totally a slap in the face. Saying, I own She-Hulk. That is pointed towards Jen.
I just love that. What makes you beautiful? She-Hulk by Titania. So good.
And she worked on that marketing campaign quick. There's billboards, commercials.
100%.
Yeah, everything.
I really like how Jamila is playing this character because I was kind of interested to see this version of Titania that's like an influencer and how Jamila's going to play this character. You know, we've seen her in The Good Place and she has range. She definitely does.
Range.
I like it. I mean, I think that it's what you would expect of an influencer that is out for nefarious purposes. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, you're really self-centered.
Well, she's basically a Kardashian. I mean, even to the voice.
I didn't want to say it.
I'll say it.
Okay.
I'll say it. She's basically, I mean, she's her it's interesting, like characters in pop culture now are taking things from the Kardashians, but the characters that they're creating are awful.
Yeah.
Like Annie Murphy did that for Alexis in Schitt's Creek.
Well,
She
the
used
thing
the
is,
Kardashians.
yeah, it's like it's putting that person or that type of person in like a situation, and it's like it's just shining a spotlight on like, this is kind of ridiculous, guys. Like you know this, right? It's not real. We know it's not real. Like you can't know it's not real.
Listen, I don't get it. I'll never understand it.
It's this is precisely how it's too real in that like we could see an influencer if they happen to have superpowers or whatever. This is exactly what it would be like. We see that Jen goes to the pop-up thing. It's very glamorous, by the way, exclusive. And this is exactly what would happen. 100%.
I do. First of all, I love Jen's outfit in this scene. Just the cute little printed t-shirt and her hair like half up in a bun.
It's Jen.
She's so cute.
Yeah.
I love that. But it's just like there's so much of like this kind of like meek Jen in this scene of like she goes to go wait on the long line and Nikki's like, we are not waiting on line.
I love Nikki. If it wasn't for Nikki, Jen would be waiting in long lines a lot.
Yeah, she'd probably actually not make it to the door ever and would never have gotten to talk to Titania. And then when she confronts Titania, this fan comes up and is like, take a picture. And Nikki's like, you're not taking a picture. She's like, just one. I'm just taking one picture for them.
She did cave pretty easily, but that's Jen. It's in her nature. I love when they first meet that Titania just says Jennifer.
Yes.
It's just full named her.
And she also goes, I'm so sorry, little child. She's just like, oh my gosh, she's so nasty.
It's so good.
It is really good.
It is really good. I mean, that's the type of interaction where it's like, there's just this like hatred, but the cool thing personally that I'm getting from it that I know of these characters is they do have some type of respect for each other. And this Titania is kind of showing that in that she's jealous of her, that she doesn't like that there's this other bigger woman that's getting the spotlight.
Right.
So it's really interesting how they're playing this character. I feel like if you didn't really know their relationship in the comic, it might be missed a little bit. But as somebody that does know it, it's like, I see what they're doing here. They're kind of building on that.
Yeah. And I hope that they do go further with it, though. Right. So we really didn't get a fight scene in the first episode in that final moment. And so we're seeing.
No, we got a punch.
We got a punch. Yeah. So we're seeing the jealousy here. We're seeing one way of fighting. But what's so great about She-Hulk and Titania are their battles.
Yeah.
Like
the
fully...
first one is in a courtroom, which I think is really cool. Like, actual legitimate battle is a court case between each other. I love that.
Yeah. So I hope we get to some more physical stuff.
Oh, you saw that mid-season trailer. There's going to be some like bridesmaids going to a winery brawl that they're going to have. I'm here for it.
I am too. And
I can't wait.
And I am here for it now.
Yeah.
I would like it served now.
That's true. This episode was very much missing any semblance of action.
Oh my gosh, you're absolutely right.
There was none. I'm not saying it needs to, but it was clear.
Literally
is what I'm saying.
None. Yeah, so I mean, I think we talked about this the last episode where we were saying like, yes, it's a sitcom, but they're still adding those superhero moments to it. You're right, there was none of that.
None. She was actually more Jen in this episode than she has been in a while, which I didn't mind.
No, I didn't either, and that's why I'm saying I'm liking watching Jen.
Yeah, Tatiana, it's always good to see her face.
Agreed.
Not green, but her face, because she's really cute and she's great.
Yeah, I like it to see her face.
Yeah, in the interim, so again, in typical sitcom and She-Hulk fashion, there's two stories that happen.
A plot, B plot.
Yeah, the A plot being Pug and Nikki going to find not only Iron Man 3 sneakers for Pug, but also a new outfit for Jen, because everybody in this episode calls her Shrek and she needs a new outfit. So she needs one.
Pepper Potts is still making that Iron Man dough, even though Tony has passed on.
That's so sad.
She's collecting them royalties.
I don't think that she did that.
She said, okay, Nike, you want the Iron Man 3? Let's go.
No, I don't think if she did do that. Oh, that'd be so bad. I mean, I could see Gwyneth Paltrow doing it.
Gwyneth Paltrow, the
Yeah.
The Goop heiress, the Goop
Yeah.
creator, absolutely.
Yeah.
Pep? I don't know.
The B plot being in this Titania versus Jen, obviously.
Mm.
I do have a confession to make. I am not a sneakerhead like Pug. I don't get it, but I thought it was a fun little fact about the character.
Yeah, and they're fleshing him out a little more, and I'm really loving this relationship between Nikki and Pug. It really feels like Nikki has made herself at home at this firm.
100%. Also, one to rock and one to stock is, I don't know if that's a sneakerhead term, but I like it.
Me too.
And I'm going to use it for books and comics and other things that don't have to do with shoes.
It rhymes.
It does.
Okay.
I like it.
Let's go there. It's a winner.
I like it. So we'll talk about Nikki and Pug a little bit because I feel like theirs is fairly quick
Sure.
to get through. They go to a boba cafe, which is supposed to be like a front for a superhero costuming thing, but also to lead him to his sneakers somehow. It's not. In fact, it's even better. And I loved it. And this is the coolest thing about the show is that they're so... almost the show itself is breaking the fourth wall by acknowledging all of the stuff that actually happens with us fans and what happens in the real world.
Oh, sure.
This dude is selling knockoff merch of the Avengers
Exactly.
with an I or an O. I love this so much. Have you seen the like counterfeit toys that they've made?
Oh, those are so good.
I can't. There was one, I can't remember who it's supposed to be. Oh, it's supposed to be Raccoon, and they named him Greg. It's just the counterfeit one. It just says Greg. And in this one, it's no different. Hulk is Thonk.
Oh, I love it.
Hawkeye is Hawk Guy. And Iron Man is just Iron.
Iron. That's all you need.
Hawkeye is or Hawk Guy is literally, his arrow has a hawk claw instead of the arrow. It's so good.
Not a bad idea. The piece of merch that I want is the Hulk Borat Mankini beach towel.
100%.
I want that.
100%. I want to see, somebody's going to make these. If Disney doesn't make them, somebody will make them.
As they should.
They 100%. I also want like Nikki and Pug Adventures.
Yes.
Like the MCU is hitting gold with these supporting characters lately. They can make so many spin-off shows, even if they're shorts, like on YouTube or something. Do it.
Give them the Groot effect, where they just have like a tiny little 6-minute episode.
Oh my god, they were great. Watched them in like 10 seconds, but I'd watch it.
We watched all of them. It was like what, a half hour maybe.
I will say grievance with that. Not to like go tangenty, but why are they all separate? It should just be I am Groot and then episode 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, whatever.
Oh, right.
You had to search for them separately, which I was like, I don't know if I watched this one.
That was bizarre.
It was very weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, I hope Nikki and Pug do not have that same issue when they get theirs.
You know what would be funny? Like someone can easily make the Avengers shirts. That's a good Comic-Con costume.
I think 100% it's going to happen this year. We're going to New York Comic-Con, so if any of you are going to be there, make sure you say hi. But I guarantee somebody's going to have that at Comic-Con. Has to.
They have to.
It's
such an easy costume and it's really clever.
Or even just the counterfeit merch.
I'm going to go in the Hulk Mankini.
Ooh.
No, it's October. It's too cold.
Just wear a jacket. And then when you get inside, take it off.
Flash everyone.
Well, no. Don't flash. Just don't take it off aggressively. Just take it off in the bathroom and then walk out. And then it's like,
that's even worse.
You were. I'm trying to make a situation where you always just are in it instead of like revealing.
Fair enough.
Because then isn't that the act of flashing? Like,
or is the reveal the moment and then we go viral?
Maybe.
Right? I go in as Bruce Banner.
But I don't know if you want to go viral for that.
Hey, whatever gets us out there, man.
Do it for the gram.
Do it for the pod, man.
No, that's bad. They finally, after meeting this counterfeit Avengers merchandiser, find the real drip broker, which I thought I was like, cool, we have the power broker. Now we got the drip broker, and we're going to have bled broker. I didn't know drip broker was just a descriptor for somebody that like brokers drip for people, which makes sense. But I thought like that was his actual like code name.
No.
I was very sad when it was Luke.
Pug knows the lingo. He knows all the lingo.
It's just Luke.
Just Luke.
It's just Luke.
Just
Anyway,
Luke.
they find him. He is the person that makes, they are the person that makes superhero costumes for clients. I didn't see any of note until the last one
Yeah.
around. I was trying to look for Easter eggs. I was looking. There was none. So if you found one, let me know. But it just looked like a bunch of
It was just
fantasy garb.
garment- Yeah, it was like garment bags and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. So he gets convinced to make suits for Jen.
For an almost maybe
Yeah.
Avenger,
Yeah.
possibly maybe someday.
I want to know who's on his client list, except for obviously the one we know, Daredevil. We see it at the very end. They show his new colored helm and puts it in a box.
What is the significance of the yellow helm?
It's just a costume color
Oh,
he
okay.
had.
It's just fun.
Yeah, it's a very old costume color. Obviously, now he just is just red. It's like red with like shading of black.
Mm.
But the yellow and red, which is kind of one of my personal favorites, I just think it's a little interesting. And also yellow is my favorite color.
It's classic.
But, yeah, but I like the runs where he did have that. So it's just it's an interesting costume.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
but I do like that they're using it as his MCU intro costume
Mm.
just to show that there is like, okay, it's different now. Like he is
Yeah.
the same, but like we're going to make something new. It's cool.
This was the first episode without a cameo in it,
Yes.
right? No Wong, no one, no Bruce Banner.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It-
No existing characters,
Right.
really.
It was just the
Yeah.
She-Hulk crew.
Yeah. 100%. I didn't even notice that. Again, see, it's a filler episode. It was.
It was like, guys, maybe we should have made it 8 episodes instead of 9.
Yeah. Well, how did you feel about Luke? Because he was kind of the, I want to say Madison, Donnie Blake, the like kind of new supporting character or like new person that
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
entering into the MCU. I thought it was very like Edna Modi, but
Yeah, it felt Edna Modi. I don't know. I was kind of like, to me personally, it felt like a stock gay character. You know what I mean? He's like flourishy and being bitchy and like pointing a lot. No, it's kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like, it feels like surface level homosexual.
yeah. On the one hand, it's like nice that assuming there's LGBTQ people.
Sure. Yeah.
But then, yeah, again, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could, I don't know. And then like he was like, we're going to need a lot of fabric. And then he stroked the like muscular,
Yeah.
I don't know, chest plate on the mannequin
It's
or
like-
whatever.
It is slightly just a little bit annoying, but it's, yeah.
But granted, for the person portraying this character, they might not have given them a lot to work with. You know what I mean? Like they gave him these lines to say, obviously this is how they wanted the character portrayed.
Right.
So I'm not saying anything against the choice of the actor, but I'm just saying the way it was written was pretty stereotypical base level, fashion person.
Yeah. You could see it on Project Runway, probably.
He has been on Project.
The literal character.
Luke was on Project Runway.
But, I mean, aside from that, they did make a character poster of them and also Mallory, which is really cool. I love these character posters they're coming out with
They are
everybody that's in the
fantastic.
episode. I did feel like the reveal of Daredevil's helm probably could have been the end credit scene because there was none in this
That is
one.
what it felt like to me. You're absolutely correct.
She leaves one
Mhm.
scene and is like, oh, my suit. And then it goes to this scene. So it was almost like, did they mean to put it as the end credit? They just forgot.
Yeah,
It was very odd.
I agree. I thought the same thing. I was like, that is like the the cliffhanger that you get at the movies.
Right.
that reveal. So it was just funny. I kind of thought that they were not necessarily promising, but it was like, wink. There's going to be a credit scene every episode.
Everyone. Yeah. I mean,
you know.
it just furthers the point that this episode was like not off, but it did feel different. It was
Mhm.
almost like this happened. Wait until the next stuff that's coming. Because it's not a surprise that Daredevil's going to be in it. He was in the first trailer. So it was interesting. But whatever. I digress. It's fine. We don't need end credit scenes.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
just odd.
Hey, look, we are a review podcast. We are reviewing it. That's okay.
I do want to point out
Tell
before
me.
we leave the shoe situation,
Mhm.
in the end credits, you
Which
know,
I love these credits, by the way.
they're so cool that they add different ones depending on what the
Mhm.
episode is. Apparently, Nikki went to go see Pug's shoe collection.
She went to his apartment or his house. Hello.
I don't know if these are canon. I would assume they are. They have to be, just because it's too close to the thing. Or they might be what if situations. His shoe collection is very expansive. They're of all superheroes, apparently. And even ones that we have not seen in the MCU. Cyclops, The Thing. I want The Thing sneakers. I would get those. I would be a sneakerhead to get The Thing sneakers. They look pretty great. Moon Knight had sneakers. Captain Marvel. Wolverine. All these people did. It was great.
He's a sneakerhead.
Also, the sneakers they held in The Thing were different than the ad that they showed on The Thing. So, Interesting.
Interesting. Maybe
Mhm.
those are the Iron Man 2s.
maybe.
And the 3s just came out.
That would make sense. We don't know if he got the Iron Man 3s or not.
we never saw.
We never saw.
I hope they did.
Yeah,
He deserves them.
I hope so too. Pug's great.
Bug's great.
Yeah. On to our court case of the episode.
Cold case.
Doom, doom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Dun, dun.
It should just be punching cement. That's what the
Yes.
sound effect should be.
I heard that in my head. Quite effective.
So this episode, we really get introduced to Mallory, which in the comics is a lawyer, I guess, antagonist to Jen almost. Titania is the physical, Mallory is the lawyer part.
Sure.
So she has like villains.
It's Jen's. It's like Jen's
Right.
antagonist.
It's Jen's antagonist as opposed to She-Hulk's antagonist.
Gentagonist.
Yeah. I do feel like there might be playing a little nicer with the roles in the show, but I was so happy to see more Mallory in this one. She represents Jen in this frivolous, what is it, name case?
Yeah,
Trademark?
trademark.
Yeah, there we go. Name case.
We love law. We study the law. We know law. Name case.
I told you, law school dropout. And it's not because I called trademark cases name cases. It's because I didn't like it.
Fair enough.
Do want to say, the more you think about it, and like this case specifically,
The ocean.
is it makes a lot more sense that Jen's character exists in the comics / now in the MCU, because like, who would trademark their names? There needs to be a superhero looking out for other superheroes. You know what I mean?
These are the things we don't think about,
No.
okay? Who's making their stretchy costumes? Who's making sure that people aren't stealing their names? Who is making counterfeit goods?
100%.
You know, this is real life of being an Avenger. This is the real life of an Avenger,
Yeah.
right? I said this before. She-Hulk is giving us the what happens between the battles. These are the things that
That's
they're
true.
worrying about.
That's very true. Where Matt Murdock is going to be more trying actual like criminals and like criminal cases and stuff. She-Hulk is going to be dealing with the in-betweens of like ramifications of superheroes. Did they trademark their name? Is that color scheme too much like the color of a certain country's flag? You know, it's going to be all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We're covering all grounds here.
Name cases.
Yeah.
Color cases.
Name cases. Also, Mallory, when she's in a courtroom, I feel like just commands the room.
Mm.
But it's very different from talking to Jen to them being in the courtroom. Like she has a different way of talking.
Yeah. When
I really liked it.
she's taking the stage. She's putting on her lawyer face.
She is the lawyer type.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have to be assertive,
You have to. You have to.
right? We're lawyers. We know.
When we get to, 100% we're lawyers. A new Patreon episode, we try cases live.
Oh my gosh! Imagine. Oh, I don't
We
know if
should-
we can give advice.
Find ridiculous cases and just give judgment on them. Just try them.
We have to get gavels.
No witnesses, nothing.
No.
Not even the people involved in the case. Just
Yeah.
us. Do you want that on Patreon? Let us know.
No.
Comment below. In the courtroom, immediately, Titania calls Jen Shrek,
Nice suit, Shrek.
waiting for somebody to make a Shrek reference. It was done flawless.
Guess what? DreamWorks is going to be suing Disney.
For a name case.
Name case.
I
Lawyers.
feel like we need to play the name game.
A bite of law.
So, Titania in this scene, we see more of her. We see her talk more. And she is absolutely hilarious. Bringing samples for the judge to try to bribe them.
For evidence.
For evidence, even though they're samples for the judge.
Right.
Doesn't think that the sham products that she's giving isn't a sham, but I think she knows they're a sham, but they make her money.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
100%.
Meanwhile, both court scenes, she's wearing green.
Oh, yeah.
Jealousy. She's green with envy of our Jade
Ooh.
Giantess.
Ooh, there are pictures online of like more pictures of Jamila Jamil in those outfits as Titania, but they were like taken for her Instagram and not Titania's. It's amazing, like seeing like Jamila Jamil slowly become Titania.
It's hilarious because Jamila Jamil and or Titania will show up on my Twitter feed, and I don't know which account that it's coming from.
It's either one.
She's living and breathing this character.
She is the character, and the character is her.
Absolutely.
It's amazing to watch.
Yeah.
I love it. Also, the She-Hulk Twitter changed its name to She-Hulk by Titania. Oh, it's so good.
They're really having fun with this.
I can't. This whole show, I just feel like they are, again, breaking that fourth wall, but just really putting it all out there that they're like, we know what you guys say. We know the culture, and we're going to have fun with it.
It's so self-referential, of the whole MCU, and it just feels like a breath of fresh air.
100%.
It really does.
The court case at hand, because I guess we should talk about it, and like, the writers of the show and even the director were kind of like, we found out we weren't strong in writing court cases, and that's why they're wrapped up so quickly in the show, I'm assuming.
Yeah. I'm always like, so again, I know nothing about, being a lawyer, and I know nothing about, I don't watch like, SVU or whatever. So Law and Order.
He's like General Hospital.
Yeah, I don't watch any of that stuff. So it's just like, I noticed in these last two episodes, there's like a mini meeting.
Right.
And then the judge is like, bring me more evidence. And then they go back and then they're like, we won.
Yeah.
So is
Pretty
that
much.
how court works?
No. But yeah.
I've watched the People's Court.
It kind of does, but it's not that quick, and it's not like bring me one thing and then you win the case.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
never like that.
Yeah.
100% not. Also, where's the jury? Well, I guess it didn't go to trial yet. This is small claims, I guess, or business court.
Yeah, there was a jury in the original case in the first episode that Titania blew through the wall.
Right.
But not since.
Yeah. Well, I guess it didn't go to court, but it's like there's a hearing. There's a difference. I don't know the difference. Jury, no jury.
Any lawyers out there? Comment below. What?
So Titania's side shows a clip of Jen saying, my name will never be She-Hulk. And they're like, see, she never wanted to be She-Hulk. And then Mallory's like, oh, but I have this. It's the interview where she's like, I am She-Hulk. I am forever She-Hulk. This is who me is now.
Exactly.
I lost words, but this is who me is.
We
now.
got there.
Yeah.
But my big irksome moment with this scene is how many remote controls exist
17
in this courtroom.
Everybody in the audience gets one. The judge does not.
They have a voting wand.
Yeah.
Which clip was better, A or B?
Just like in Legendary, they have a cut wand, and
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah, see? Jamila Jamil would have one.
Yeah, but I was just like, he was like, I have this clip remote control. And then a second later, she's like, but I have this clip.
100% that it wasn't already loaded, somehow downloaded in there. They had to have DVDs of these 2-second clips.
Listen, I
love it.
I feel like Marvel technology is just far
Advanced.
beyond anything that we can comprehend. So I guess I just have to go with it.
Well, technically, they're in the year 25, 26, 27. So it's fine. We'll get there.
5 years, baby.
We're trying to get up. We'll get up there.
Maybe you put the USB in the remote, and then that shoots the file to the television.
That shoots the file to the television.
He's coming after me for me explaining very advanced technology.
Please explain how the shooting of the file works.
It's like how phone calls work. Bluetooth?
It shoots your voice up into the sky.
I know how phone calls work.
Okay, new Patreon episode. Have Derek explain how advanced technology works.
Yeah.
I want it.
It's going to be a lot of me repeating myself.
What do you not get? It shoots the file to the TV. That's
Hello.
how it works.
Listen. I think I nailed it.
So the judge, to Derek's point, it's like a meeting and then they have to do something and then they come back. She has to show a pattern of using the name, not just like, oh, you said it once on TV, but also we have you on TV not saying, saying the opposite. So come to find out, she did just recently date a bunch of people under She-Hulk and as She-Hulk. So what does she have to do? She has to parade all the questionable men in front of a courtroom. Because yikes.
Think of
It's so bad.
think of all the bad dates you've ever gone on, and then think about having to ask them to come talk about said dates.
Not even recent ones.
This
Not
was
even
like yesterday.
Yeah, not even like maybe a year, maybe even 6 months where they like whatever happened is just like they're kind of like fine, whatever. This is recent wounds.
Yeah, and then they're all like judging her as well.
The fact that they all showed up 100% tells you what type of person they are to then come there and not only, I guess, give good whatever, but somehow make it about them while also talking shit about Jen. It's so weird.
Men. It's
These
men.
particular men. Todd, Arthur,
Todd.
the other guy.
You know who the other guy is?
What?
The first guy?
Who?
Want to know his name?
Yes.
Derek.
No, of course it is.
Derek.
Just like you.
Just like moi.
100%. If you listen to our, I think it was Blind Manor, maybe, we had talked about how every fictional character in media named Derek is usually a turd. And
Derek
this proves the point.
is never a main character.
Never. Always
There-
supporting and always a
there's-
turd.
Right. Always a turd. Not even a supporting character. They're like a one-off character who appears who you hate. There's never a good main character named Derek. Because
Because,
of that.
yeah.
Rude.
They're
Rude.
like, no way.
Wait until my show, Derek Explains the Internet.
Oh my God. That'd be amazing. So aside from Arthur and Derek, Todd, we see a little more of him in this episode prior to her figuring out that she needs to bring all the men.
Mm.
He literally, so he's a client of Mallory's apparently for some reason, and calls her, she's my favorite lady lawyer. Because there's a difference between a man lawyer and a lady lawyer.
I hate these people.
Apparently.
I told you he's wearing a scarf.
Is he? I didn't notice.
Yeah.
I kind of just like blurred out his face.
When they wear scarves, you cannot trust them.
In LA.
I do want to say that I believe one of them is the film guy. His name is Noah.
No, it's not.
It is.
It's absolutely 100% not.
IMDb?
Are you serious?
Yes. It says Derek, Noah, Arthur.
Do they listen to this podcast?
Fingers crossed.
Do they?
Guys.
Like, we've heard these people talk about Marvel stuff too much. Let's make them shitty characters in the MCU.
Thanks, Marvel.
Thanks. Is it really Noah
Yeah.
and Derek?
Yeah.
Wow, we're awful
Oh. Yeah.
in the show.
Oh. I thought you meant in life.
No.
I was like, okay, yeah. I guess so.
Oh my God. So we get the title drop of the episode when they're talking about what her bio says and this
Mhm.
matcher thing.
She said JK.
She did. No, but in what you're looking for in a match, it says a sturdy reinforced
No.
king's what?
A man with a sturdy back and a
Yeah.
reinforced king-size bed.
And it says JK. I don't think she's actually JKing, and I'm here for the sex positivity of Jen Walters.
Well, listen. Her cousin, Spruce, told her that you need to reinforce your beds.
so she used it.
And she's obviously helping them. She's saying, listen, if we're going to get down tonight, please make sure that your bed is reinforced.
Yeah.
That's just courteous.
It did work. But it was her bed, so I'm assuming it's reinforced.
Yeah. Well, she had to do it.
She she bent the steel herself
Does-
to form a bed.
Does baby Jen sleep in a giant She-Hulk sized bed?
Yeah, because what is she, 6'9"?
She has like a California king bed, and then Jen just sleeps in it.
I think California Kings aren't even that big. Are they?
I think they're like wider, so she has to sleep on the bed sideways.
Diagonally.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh my God. But she's also sleeping in Hulk size pajamas.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my god, Tatiana. There's too many T names in this
I
show.
get confused all the time.
We know.
We were having a discussion with our friend, and she was like, "How is Tatiana?" And I was like, "Oh, she's not in it that often." And Noah was like, "What?" I was like, "No, wait, that's Titania.
Yeah.
We're talking about Tatiana." Got it. Ugh.
So the exes continue to be awful. They give their case. Yes, she'd get a win as She-Hulk, but also I'm the greatest and she's not. Finally, Arthur, the guy that she did sleep with, that Wong interrupted almost the entire date, gives the winning argument. He wouldn't have dated Jen, only She-Hulk, because Jen's not his type. Sad. But she's also not mad about it. Again, this is slowly Jen just actually becoming herself, which I think is kind of a beautiful thing.
Mm.
She almost needed this to happen to like fully be herself and realize herself,
Yeah.
And
it's so what's interesting about this whole thing is, right, it's like, so She-Hulk is a superhero, but she's dealing with, like, I don't know, real life things like dating and like also trying to find an outfit that fits or whatever, and societal pressure. And so it's like, will she ever find love? I don't know.
She does a few times. Doesn't work out great.
But do they have to love her as both Jen and She-Hulk?
Yeah, I think it might become a point, which I could see. I mean, I feel like just like Bruce in the other shows or the other movies, I'm not sure because of the extent of the rights, like how much he can be Hulk, how much he has to be Bruce, how much can this be used. She's kind of different. She's on her own. So I'm wondering how much of Tatiana we're going to see versus She-Hulk. I don't mind the mix between the two. Or if we only saw green She-Hulk and not Tatiana, but it's the same character, I'd be fine. I'm curious on like how much it's going to go to her just being full-time green.
Yeah.
Because she does that in the comics.
I was just going to say, that's what eventually happens.
Yeah, she kind of full-time is She-Hulk because she presents herself as She-Hulk, not as I'm Jen is separate. She-Hulk is different because she practices as She-Hulk. So that's kind of why we see her going through things that are different than Hulk or Thor or anything like that, because that's where her stories take place, which is always so cool. It's just a different level of a character we get to see. And then she can also kick some ass.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's
also interesting because it's rare in the MCU that there's a transformation.
What do you mean?
Like Iron Man just puts on a suit and Captain America is always Captain America.
Oh, I see what you mean. Like there's a duality between the two.
Like she is a person that becomes something else.
Right.
That's rare. It's like her and Hulk.
Right.
I was just saying, so it has that, they can play around with it because that doesn't happen so often.
Right. I agree. Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see how far they go and like where we leave off. Is she just going to be like, I'm going to be green forever? This is fine.
Green and poured into those jeans.
Long story short, they do win thanks to Arthur's like not great comment, but also like thanks. Who's saying that I would date She-Hulk, not her?
And she used the moniker She-Hulk in her personal life before Titania put the trademark on it.
And Mallory gives her a compliment saying that she could do better than all of those assholes in that room, which was really nice. They go for a drink. Jen
Very short drink.
Well, Jen oversteps and is like, so glad we're friends. And she's like, okay, I'm going to go. But she did have a little bit of a smile when she's heard that. So I'm like, maybe we're going to get kind of, why does Mallory not really want to be friends with her? Like, what's going on with her?
Yeah, I mean, is it sort of a Titania situation?
And she's jealous of her, probably.
Right?
Maybe.
Where like someone came in and they're in the law firm now and they're getting a little more attention than she is and more
I feel like that's going
to cases.
It's going to come to a head with that because a lot of people are probably going to be like, you've gotten handed everything just because you can be green and you can do these powers.
Right.
And Jen the whole time is like, yeah, I got these because I'm not myself.
Right. And Holloway even says in this, he goes, I made you the face of our firm.
Right.
So, she came right in and sort of got all the glory.
But Mallory's a strong lawyer. She should be proud of herself.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, I think I would understand it more if She-Hulk was like strutting around the office, like, I'm She-Hulk, look at me. She's not doing that.
I feel like archetypes, though, kind of like prevent us from like having to see those types of scenes. It's like if the character's going to be jealous, they're going to be jealous off screen before they're You know what I mean? Before
Yeah.
you see it, which is kind of annoying because it's like we haven't really seen Mallory, and then she's already kind of like, "I'm over you."
Yeah.
It's interesting. I love the character though.
Yeah, I mean,
Love
she's
the
great.
actor.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I hope she sings.
Oh my God,
She better sing.
Angelica.
Hello. Hello.
So good. I'm very excited for the later half of the season because I feel like this is that episode that we always have when we watch these and talk about them, where they're kind of like, it happened.
Yeah.
It was enjoyable, but like, let's get to the meat and potatoes
Yeah.
of the show.
So do you think that Daredevil will be in the next episode?
If not in the next one, he has to be in the one after that.
Gotcha.
I've heard that he's only supposed to be in it for one episode. Some people have kind of said like an episode and like some of another one, like an end credit-y thing or whatever.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is going to be the first true introduction of what
Mhm.
this Daredevil is going to be in the MCU.
Yeah.
So they might have to. No, I'm gonna stop that because this is a different show than his show would be. So I don't think the tone is going to be the same of how he's going to be in his show. You
Oh,
know what I
yeah.
mean? This
Yeah.
is going to be more comedy
And that's definitely darker, more serious. I mean,
to an extent. I don't think it's going to be that dark on Disney Plus. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, that's true. I do think though that there. Listen, I got to put in a
Or maybe.
passcode. Okay, we got to put in a pin. I honestly think that it's going to be a similar to the Hulk situation, where like the last time we see them, they're doing something that we don't really know what they're doing, and then we'll find out when it's their next turn.
Oh, probably.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, Daredevil doesn't even belong there.
you don't belong here.
No, he's on the West Coast. He's in New York.
He's starting the West Coast Avengers.
So don't. I want it so bad.
he's doing a name case.
Stop. Why is he? I want to know why he's there.
So wait.
He flew.
Yeah.
all the way
So
over
wait, they've announced the Thunderbolts, right? But nothing about the West Coast event or Young Avengers.
there. No, they're still building him because Cassie Lang, who is Scott Lang's daughter, who's going to be in
Oh,
Ant-Man and
yeah,
Quantumania, we haven't really seen her character become the superhero that they become.
Phase 12.
Right. No, they're in the next movie as with their costumes.
Oh,
so
cool.
I think they're waiting to actually physically introduce all of them to some extent.
He's Ant-Man.
Yeah.
There's the Wasp.
Mm-hmm.
Who's his daughter?
It depends
Oh.
on what she's going to go by. There's a few other ones. She has sneakers. They keep putting these kids in sneakers as like superheroes.
sneakers.
I mean, it's like, we get it. They're teens, like Converse.
Oh, yeah. I'm a cool teen.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's like, you're in battle. Maybe no sneakers.
Yeah.
Right.
She does like to go big a lot, so it's kind of cool. She is a good mix between Wasp and Ant-Man.
Mm. She
So-
can fly and be giant.
Well, she's purple too.
Ooh, purple.
That's fun.
That is fun.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why,
All right.
assuming. But I'm excited.
Anyway, back to Daredevil.
Yeah.
Who knows what he's doing? I guess we'll find
Yeah,
out.
we'll find out. I don't think
He went to Luke. That's why he's on the West Coast.
I feel like the tone of Daredevil is going to be different from Netflix, but also different from She-Hulk. So we're going to get a little more screen time than we did in No Way Home.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be interesting to see, like, is there going to be any clues on, like, what's happened since? Why is he there? Who is he now? Soft reboot, but what does that mean? So
He's yellow.
we'll see. Yeah, that's the
He's
extent
yellow.
so far. The costume's different.
All right. So I guess we'll have to see what happens in episode 6.
Yeah, next week we'll talk about episode 6.
But before that, let's get to the special segment. It's time for Oh Lord.
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 Okay.
So this is in honor of our beautiful little angel girl, Lola, who
Aw.
you've all seen.
Yeah.
She has since taken her cone off. Her
Yep.
sutures have been taken out, and she's doing quite well. So
yeah.
last week we spoke about the ethical treatment of mythical creatures.
Oh my
but
God.
this week we're going to chat about our four-legged friends.
Okay.
In Rome, the mistreatment of animals is taken incredibly seriously, and in 2005, it was set into law that you must walk your dog every day.
Wow.
Keeping them confined is not okay, and if you don't walk your pup, you could be looking at a fine of a couple $100s. The law came after a national law was passed that said that anyone who abandoned a dog or cat could be put in jail,
They should.
right?
100%.
So the counselor behind the bylaw, Monica Serena, said, "It's good to do whatever we can for our animals who, in exchange for a little love, fill our existence with their attention."
That's really sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't ask to be your pet.
No.
Treat them right and
Treat
don't
'em
abandon
right.
them. And if
Love
you have
them.
to abandon them, at least give them to somebody before you do that.
Right.
A nice person.
Yes.
Not a bad person.
So I kind of love this law, and I think it's great.
But like, there's obviously exceptions for like people that can't walk their dogs, right? And does like the yard count? Like if you have a big yard and you let them run,
It's more about confinement.
Okay,
Like,
so they
not
just wanna make
keeping
sure-
your dog confined in
see.
the apartment. And there was like sort of another bylaw that was connected to this. I don't know if it was the same one, but you're not allowed to keep a goldfish in a little tiny bowl.
well, that's fine. Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
That's nice.
if you go to a fair and there's a bowl with a tiny little,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like, that's not allowed.
well, good. It shouldn't.
Yeah. There was also another law
Oh my god.
that said you're not allowed to just dye your dog's hair for aesthetic reasons.
Well, okay. There's
Right.
big problems with that because it's like you should go to a professional for that if you're going to do it because there are dyes that do not harm the dog and that aren't permanent because they're not people
right.
and you can't put it all over the body. You put
There's no reason
dye
your
all
dog
over your
needs to look
face.
like a Ninja Turtle.
no, absolutely none. I'm just saying like there are reasons why there's professional level and then like try putting dye all over your skin. See how that feels. You know, no,
Yeah.
don't do that.
So,
Your dogs are beautiful and your pets are beautiful the way they are.
yes, and this law is bellissima. This
This
is so beautiful. I love it.
Well, this is the first one that didn't make me mad. It made me mad at the people, not at the law.
Yes, I was hoping that this
So
would
thank
be the
you.
outcome. You're welcome.
Five in, and we got one that didn't make me mad.
Let's see what happens next week.
It's gonna make me mad.
Probably.
All right, till next time.
Bye. Thanks for listening to A Bite of, artwork and editing by our own Noah. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram at A Bite of Pod and on Facebook at A Bite of. If you have questions, recommendations, or just want to say hi, you can email us at abiteofpod@gmail.com. You can find us on all podcast platforms. Please be sure to rate and review to spread the word. Hope you join us next time on A Bite of. Bye.